parents, this is Suma for Peaches Preschool, and this video is only for parents for you all to facilitate your words. For week 15 actually we've planned a theme called Parts of the Plants. At school during celebration or festivities our children would be facilitated with a child friendly needle, and we would ask them to sew a garland, make a garland out of flowers and things like that. Since we don't have them here at school, so we came up with this idea of doing the activity. Our children will be making a straw garland. For this, it's a process art. So you all would have been provided with a yarn like this attached to a toothpick and straws. So on the first day, kindly facilitate your wards, to paint the straws, and preferably only 2 colors, because they will be learning math by doing this activity. It's called pattern making. It's beading, basically beading, pattern making. So I'm using red and green here. So once the straw is painted, let it dry. So the next step probably you could ask them to use the scissor. Please kindly monitor when they're using scissors. So ask them to really cut it really short. So if they really can't follow or cut short, cut the straw into short pieces, you can definitely draw a line around, like make lines. That will be even better, and ask them to cut the straw. Once this has been done, and you can actually ask them to lay it or place it like a pattern. For example, I can't cut this because it's wet. If it was there, I would have probably had a red and green, A, B pattern. So that's the pattern that they'll be doing. So you could help them, or you could be a role model, and try to do one and show it to them and let them follow you. Once that is done, and then the next step is, please tie one of the straw at the end. Tie it like that, so just doesn't come off. So you will start the pattern here. Let's say now, for example, this is white, so red and white. So my next bead or the straw would be red color. So that's how to show it to all. I'm just showing it to you all here because my red is not dried yet. And this is how it goes, and once it is done, it turns out to be a very pretty garland or maybe a neck piece that you can use. I hope you all will enjoy this activity. Thank you.